Man,
Hey, Todd, how are you?
I'm doing all right. I just I know this is going to sound silly. I'm just like I feel like you can just level up too often.
You know, everybody's been leveling up with this new Zelda game. Like everybody's talking about how like they're just leveling up, and then if they're not playing Zelda right now, they're friggin' leveling up in Diablo, right? Like it is a crazy leveling. There's too much leveling up going on right now. In fact, Jack Black just made that song like I don't play video games. Like to tell us it's too much leveling up right now, Todd. It really is.
I'm playing Street Fighter 6, but that's cool.
Can you level up in that game?
You can. So I feel like I'm just low and I need to I don't know, I need to hype up.
Right, getting like a hype train, you know?
Yeah, once you know what?
You know what? It's our show, Todd. We can do whatever the hell we want. So instead of leveling up, let's hype up.
Fuck it, let's do it.
Let's hype it up. Our guests won't care. Like
no, whatever. There we go. Comic book hype up.
All right. So if you are watching this, guys, we need you to share in the comments because we need to know because we have two amazing guests coming on tonight. Can you play our intro, Todd?
Yeah, I can. You want me to do that?
No. I just want to know if you. Hey!
All right. I'm feeling the hype.
Welcome to Comic Book Level Up. It is Comic Book Hype Up tonight. Tonight we are talking to two amazing guests. We've got, so this is kind of a sneak peek because eventually we're going to get David and Hazan on a regular episode. But today we're going to do something special, a little different. I'm going to address some beef, Todd. I have some beef with that man.
Oh, man.
So do you think we should just get him on right now? Like address everything, just throw it up there.
It is better just to get in front of things.
If I didn't learn anything last week, Todd, you just need to get in front of these situations.
Just got to get in front of stuff.
Address them, and see what happens. Right. Let's address these things right on. Let's talk to people. Let's talk to these wonderful, wonderful people.
All right, let's do it. Hey,
that intro was cool.
That was very cool. I feel very spoiled.
Aw, well, that's my intention, is to spoil.
Yeah. So what I said when I hired him for this gig, I was just like, look, the burrito stuff was good, but we're leveling up here. We can't just mess around and talk about different types of burrito. We need to get this channel up to the next level. We're going to have high profile guests on here. We can't be messing around.
Burrito only had Travis, so we needed to really up it.
Yeah, you already were starting at a deficit with me, so you really need to work hard.
Well, thanks for coming on, guys. Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks so much for having us.
So I understand there's beef, but let's.
I'm still confused.
I am too. So
I'm sitting out on this one.
I may have beef with both of you. We'll see when I address the beef.
Oh, surprise beef!
Surprise!
Am I the beef?
Surprise! Where's the beef, Travis?
That's good.
Well, so first, before we get to the beef, David,
you're really burying the lead here. I don't know if I can take it.
It's very clickbaity.
David, what the hell is going on with you? Look, I was doing my comics career. I was producing as many books as I could to show off that I can do a lot of books. And you were quietly just putting out one Nottingham a year, not even the Tales, just a regular Nottingham. And it was nice and quiet. I let you do your thing. And then all of a sudden you're like, hey, I'm going to put out a bunch of books all of a sudden, right? We've got this, we got Monolith that I don't have, but I'm sure Todd has on his side.
I do. It's not on me. It's been
It's
a
not
day.
on him. Okay.
I would, but I don't have any copies left.
Here,
See, like-
there it is.
There it is. You have been going nuts. Like who do you owe money to that you need to produce this many books? And then you come in my turf for one, which is beef number one, Kickstarter turf. You're coming into my turf, trying to take my people. Like that's why my campaign was so short. I heard that David Hazan's on. I was like, I need to get off Kickstarter. Like, he's got to take up money.
Your backer kit's cool.
As long as you're not going to Indiegogo, we're sweet.
Yes, exactly.
No, look, like it's been the culmination of several years worth of behind the scenes working, and it just so happened to all happen at once. You know, because everybody who has ever worked in comics knows that you work for like 3 years on something before it actually sees the light of day. And just at the different paces that everybody was working on all of these things, they all seem to just line up all at once, which is why I have less hair than the last time you probably saw me.
Amazing.
All right, so Todd,
it does make sense.
I'm going to let you referee. Do you think I should let him go for that beef?
I think he's good. To be fair, I like David a lot, so I might not be a good referee. But I think he's good.
Christof, are you ready to throw your partner under the bus? Like, should we give up this beef or?
Look, I think, I'm going to be very diplomatic and say, I think, the funny thing about like working in comics is just, a huge amount of time things take. I mean, I know Dave was talking to me about Death Drop back in 2019 when we first met, so that book in particular has been a real slow burn. It's just the way it is. It's nothing kind of happens and everything happens at once. It's really quite bizarre.
Well,
I mean, it's also just freelancer life, right? Where you're like, either you're either in torrential rain or a drought. There's no in between.
Yeah,
freelance, kid. It's fine. Freelance. You don't need a job. Well, we're all scout. We all work with scouts. So we all understand that those things sometimes take a bit. So
I hear you, man.
So the second beef, and this may apply to both of you. Requiem is by far my favorite word in the English language. I use it as often as I can to prove that I'm smarter than people in the room, because they always go, "What is a Requiem?" And I get to explain what it is, and it makes me feel good. I blame it on Vampire the Masquerade. They tried to make a sequel called Vampire Requiem, and I learned all about it. Yeah, see, Christof.
He certainly did try.
Look, let's just say I've Googled Requiem Kickstarter many times, and am now very familiar with every other Kickstarter that uses the word Requiem.
So I have beef with that title because I was eventually going to get around to it. And you just stole it from me, which proves the theory that I've had all along that you have access to my Google Drive.
I gave that to him.
I can. Wow, I was.
Sorry.
So my beef's with Todd.
Yeah, it's actually with me.
Todd's long flowing locks. That's what my beef is with. If we're just airing our dirty laundry here.
We are. This is a free space.
I don't know how to solve that, but Travis, you have your setup. Requiem for a Kickstarter is just right there for you. It's your story.
Actually, and I'm not kidding. I have a novel that I wrote that I've never put together, and it has a bunch of my failed like plays and like short stories and comic scripts. And I was going to call it Requiem for My Bohemian.
Nice, perfect. So speaking of Requiem,
yeah, let's speak about Requiem.
I
read it.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out. I realized I made a logo. Which one looks better? I'll do this on the
I like
fly.
the big one.
I like the big one too.
Todd,
what?
we're professional.
So you guys have a Kickstarter. Where Do you want to give the people who one should go check out the link down below, because everybody can split screen, go check it out. What is Requiem?
You want to pitch it, buddy? I've been pitching too much. Yep, man.
Whenever we go into podcasts together, it's like we play a little game of chicken of like who's gonna pitch it this time. Yeah. So I mean, we've been pitching it a couple of different ways. The quickest way is Memento meets Event Horizon. So it follows the memory wiped crew of a spaceship, and basically they've got to figure out who's responsible for all these grisly murders before they strike again. So it starts off with the crew of the Genesis, which is the ship we follow. They find their sister ship, a ship they were never meant to find, and everyone on the ship is slaughtered except for one person, Reyna, our protagonist, who's had her memory wiped and can't remember what's gone on. And the story kind of takes off from there. And yeah, it uses a lot of sci-fi horror kind of tropes and the basics of the genre, but also with I guess you could say a memory wiping twist. So memory wiping plays a huge role in the story, and the characters are constantly having to wipe their memory. They don't know why. All they know is if they allow their memory to kind of accumulate for too long, something really, really bad is going to happen.
Ooh. Is she tattooing herself?
No, there's no
Okay.
I can confirm there are no tattoos.
Okay. The Memento part, I was just like, tattoos? Awesome. So it's lone survivor from a ship that's picked up by another ship, and then spookiness follows.
Yeah, 100%.
Nice. I like it. Here is, because we usually do a full screen of here's the Kickstarter, everybody. Oh, I'll take the logo off. You have quite a few different options to go with. I would recommend to everybody, look at this cover. I know it's not trade dressed yet, but my goodness.
Oh man, yeah, we've been waiting to be able to share that one. Sky knocked it out. We knew Sky was going to knock it out of the park, but there's a difference between knowing that Sky is doing a variant cover for you and actually seeing it.
Yeah. Are you ironically going to have a version of this?
I did talk about it. I don't know if we're going to do that just yet.
Because it looks just amazing. That is just
like
incredible.
a poster. It's stunning.
It really is. This is definitely posterable, which is totally a word.
It is now, baby. It is now.
And then there's 4 amazing covers that you've got, and you're working with
nobody we've ever heard of. None of these people are talented.
Yeah. A lot of newcomers to the art.
Yeah, I mean,
a lot of new people up here.
Mm-hmm.
I think Dave and I spoke a lot about. I think when doing a Kickstarter, there's a real kind of art to variant covers, because they kind of in it, or at least we found in a Kickstarter, they play a bunch of different functions. The first is obviously to be an awesome cover. The second is to kind of generate buzz and to bring people into the Kickstarter. And the third is to kind of expand the network of the Kickstarter, so obviously be able to bring in fans of the various artists as well, So we were really, we knew we wanted Shane, and then Liana and Sky are both, friends of ours, and we want, and any excuse to work with Liana and Sky really, and Shane. But yeah, Shane, we obviously brought in, because Dave's worked with him on Nottingham, and we felt kind of Nottingham fans would appreciate them reuniting for something different.
Yes, gorgeous is the perfect word. This is a fabulous foursome that is put on right here, and Phil did a great job because look at this interior art. My goodness, it's not just cover art you're bringing to the table.
Yeah, we definitely feel like we struck gold a little bit with Phil. I know that for writers, you always kind of feel amazing when you find a new artist that hasn't broken yet. And Dave, actually, you discovered Phil, right? You found him on Twitter.
Yeah, I found him on Twitter, and he was looking for a sci-fi horror project, and I just went, shit, we need to do this, and we need to do this now.
Move.
Move before they blow up too much, okay?
Get them while we can afford the page rate instead of just a cover.
100%. While they still have room in the schedule.
Yes.
Yeah. The art and the interior of this book is really, really good. I like the overarching of the issue. One of the things that I love about comics, especially about seasoned writers, and you both are. I didn't know a lot about you, Christof. I just learned a lot when I researched you prior to this interview. But I've read everything as far as I'm aware that David Hazan's written. David, I don't need to say your last name.
Full name.
Right?
David T. Hazan.
As someone who's, gone through anxiety, as someone who this may not resonate to anybody, but someone in the audience will resonate to, I went through a divorce once. I
can also
right here. Yeah, that's.
I can also wave on that one.
There's a song by. Okay, all right. David's the only one who knows how to have healthy relationships. Okay, fine.
So David's known for.
That's what David known for. And based off his comments, you can tell mutual respect for partners is very important to him. I mean, Nottingham at least. Anyways, the band Fun has a song called "Be Calm," and I'm a huge fan of thing. And that repetition at the beginning and at the end of the comic was so powerful. It was really, really well written. I feel that this is one of those image level issue ones. I really feel you guys did a great job.
That's very kind of you to say.
Where you got it, you've got everything. You're like, I don't even fully know what this fucking book's about yet, and I'm going to read issue 2. Because that's what you get when you buy a World Tree or you buy a Something's Killing Tree. You're like, I'm not even fucking sure what happened here, but it was great. It was a good ride.
Totally. And I think that's why, particularly as the Kickstarter progressed, Dave and I kind of pitched the book, and we've been pitching the book in more and more different ways, just because it's kind of, there's obviously what happens in the story as a whole and what it's about, but we're kind of been trying to kind of focus in on what just the first issue is, because we don't really want to kind of spoil anything, because I think hopefully a lot of the fun in the book is the slow burn and the reveals.
Yeah, and I think with a cast that's getting their memory wiped, Christof and I are sort of playing a game of fourth dimensional chess with all the moving parts, and so if we reveal too much, all you need is that one thread and the whole thing kind of unravels. So we're being very careful with what we reveal. And we were lucky enough to be able to work with ex-Mad Cave's Chris Sanchez as an editor, because we realized very quickly that we needed somebody to make sure the House of Cards stays as a House of Cards.
100%. Especially with horror, where so much of it is kind of, so much of the power of horror is in the unknown. I think all horror to an extent is about what we don't know, or speculating about what we don't know, or what could be out there. So
that's why the people are afraid of the dark, because you can't see what's there.
Yeah, you just can't. Yeah, nothing's changed. You just have less information. So that balance was so important, and Chris was so pivotal in helping us kind of find that.
That's cool. So who's the killer?
Awesome. I really love it. I think it's a very, very good first issue. It really felt as someone who's been through situations where you just need to calm down and you can't get yourself there. Had some of those last week, just trying to get to where you need to be. This issue really expanded me, and I really think it's kudos. You guys go off running. we need to get this funded as quickly as possible. It's one of the best Kickstarters I've read all year. So it's really, really good.
Thank you. It's interesting you bring up the anxiety stuff and the mental illness stuff, and I think that's both. Well, number one, I think in 2023 everyone's struggling with some form of mental health stuff post-COVID. Sure. I think that's just accepted. We've all gone through this kind of group trauma, and everyone's just trying to kind of pick up the pieces and move forward. I think the second thing, and something both me and Dave kind of wanted to hit on is I think now more than ever, a lot of horror is really thriving on having elements to it that are comforting, and by that I mean kind of acknowledging the trauma or the stress that we're kind of going through. And I think that's what we wanted to kind of hit on with Requiem. I, again, don't want to give anything away, but in terms of trying to flesh out the story and kind of find the thematic teeth, we really talked about how we were feeling right now and kind of the moment we were in, and really tried to speak to that. So I'm so glad to hear it resonated, because that was, really what we wanted to do, is kind of put a lifeline out and say, hey, this is kind of how we're feeling. Is anyone else kind of feeling like this as well?
That's
but
awesome.
In space, nobody can hear you therapize yourself, I guess.
It's true,
No,
yeah. Yes, and it's much harder to self-actualize. So how was the co-writing experience? Have you both...
We
is
both,
this a first for both of you in terms of something that's like this public?
Yeah.
Like putting
Yes.
something together like this with another writer, not like, like co-creator with artist type thing,
Yeah.
which is always a thing, but actually another person that can wield the pen.
Yeah, we've worked on a bunch of pitches for a bunch of different publishers that sort of haven't quite had as much traction as we would have liked. And then we just kind of, I saw Phil's art. We decided to take one of those and just do it. And the co-writing process has been delightful for me, because I think I'm a very slow writer. I'm slow, I'm methodical. When things come out, they usually come out pretty fully formed. Christof is like the polar opposite of that. He will put everything on the page and then refine and refine and refine until it's the right fit. So having somebody who's able to just put a first draft on the page is quite delightful for my brain.
Yeah, we kind
And then
of
I go through and refine and make sure that I'm happy with the beats that it's hitting. And usually it means doing another pass on the dialogue, because you usually try to panel it out with pretty loose dialogue, and then I go over it, and then Christof goes over it one more time, and I go over it one more time, and it goes to Phil. That's it's pretty much the process. So
Start at both
100%.
ends and just meet there.
I mean, I guess it goes to Chris and then it goes to Phil, but yeah.
Yeah, and we're very lucky that it just so happens that our processes are kind of the exact opposite. They kind of fit together really, really nicely. Yeah, Dave is great at kind of polishing and bringing something together fully formed, and I'm good at just getting something on the page and just getting something out quick is really where I kind of do my best.
And also, he's good at the lighthearted stuff, and I'm good at the tragic, grisly,
What?
bleak stuff.
Is your stuff bleak, David? It just always seems so upbeat.
Who would have thought?
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Weird.
so tonally we're a really good compliment. Yeah, because I'm a big old silly Billy, and then Dave tends to move darker. Well, my body of work is, Under Kingdom is a very silly book. So apparently, people have been a little bit shocked to see that this is now what I'm doing after Under Kingdom. But hopefully, some of the light's there, and I think particularly in horror, you need to care about these people, and I think, humanity really shines among kind of darkness, and there's something really grounding about a fairly hard sci-fi situation. Being in deep space in a spaceship, you kind of need to ground that, and the easiest way to do that is through the characters and having them be likable and having them joke about situations or just be relatable people.
Yeah. Speaking of the cast of characters,
Which they're awful. I apologize. We're having a thunderstorm, so my dog's going crazy behind
I'm
us.
classic.
Totally fine.
So
I'm surprised
David,
my cat
how many
hasn't screamed yet.
how many puns did you limit him to per page, David?
I have a better question, Todd.
I think that's hard hitting journalism, but that's fine. Go for it.
We're American. What is a silly Billy?
Oh,
It's a silly person. It's a silly person.
It's a silly goose.
Yeah.
No silly goose.
If there's a
Doing
man
that
named
silly
Billy,
Billy.
I know Silly Billy.
Thank
It's
you, Todd.
Florida. He's from Massachusetts and Florida, so he's got weird regional things.
Yeah, okay, no, silly, yeah.
Silly Billy.
Goose, He's
Yeah.
a big old, like a clown of a person.
You silly Billy.
So like
Yeah.
if you were Billy, like you are a joke. You are mocked profusely. Like there is no
For
Billies
sure.
in Australia.
No, they're all silly, and everybody loves a silly
exactly.
Billy.
Exactly. Not serious in any situation.
This
I
is
love
very
that
funny because Christof and I have a mutual friend called Billy who is in fact a silly Billy.
He
He's
is
a
silly Billy.
I love the fact that
That's
they
great.
keep explaining Silly Billy like I couldn't figure it out from context clues.
Yes, right. I also like that they're explaining like the guy who made this is different than the guy who made this.
Yeah, who would have
Look at it. Wow.
Different,
Huh.
yeah.
They seem very similar.
I would like a crossover if I'm going to be honest.
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Under Nottingham.
So Marie has been. It's funny whenever I'm working on Under Kingdom, Marie, my co-creator and artist on that, who, funnily enough, like when they're not drawing Under Kingdom, everything else they do is pretty bleak and like horror. Will like give basically the only note they constantly give me is like, don't make it sad. I need this to be happy. Everything else I'm working on is
I need this.
please. So
That's
I
great.
had very strict instructions to like always keep it like happy and fun.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, like I said, this is a very cool first issue. I'm very blessed that I get to read it beforehand. I'm sad that I'm not on David's other list of getting to read things sooner.
What do you mean by that?
I'm sure there's a list of people who get to see things before they're released. Like if this was done for so long, I didn't get on your list. I'm just saying, I should get more of your previews early.
You should have asked, and I would have given them to you.
Oh, the power of communication.
Damn. All right.
Oh.
Whatever.
See,
know I
the
bought
thing
the-
about having healthy relationships.
Oh, yeah. It's open and
good
honest communication. Yes. Yes.
I can learn a lot from you, David. Would you be my mentor?
Aw.
Great.
The beef turns into.
No, Travis, I don't teach.
I have been told I'm unteachable, so you're fine.
He has so many report cards that say that.
I will let you know, I bought this from Scout headquarters. I don't know if you saw the tag.
Oh, that's
This
cool.
is from Scout headquarters. I got it a week before everybody else.
It's fresh.
It's extra
Very
special.
cool.
Right off the comic vine.
Right off the Comic Con.
You got it before I did, so maybe you're the real one.
Amazing.
Well, and I did tell, I was on a live with Scout, and I told everyone to buy it and add it to their comic pull list that week before it came out. So I think you got some people because they trusted me.
So you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Travis. Let me send you issues 2 and 3. So you can
Yeah. There you go. Speaking of Scout, there's another Scout book that's coming soon, correct?
What is this?
Is soon?
That also doesn't look happy either. Like, what's going on?
I love this colors. This is like my aesthetic. I love this.
I can't don't have the cover for you. Volume is also very silly, very fun.
Okay.
Very, very silly. Yeah. So
Silly.
volume is.
Hold on.
with,
Did you say punk?
Yeah.
So Christof is.
Oh no. Okay, I gotta get Travis out of here. He's gonna just find beef after beef. Oh
No,
boy.
it's fun, but it's also very punk.
That's not yours.
Like teenage
It's not
punk.
yours. See,
I own punk.
yours is no, but you don't own punk. You can't own punk. I think that's like the least
That's
punk
the thing
thing.
about punk.
That's about as anti-punk as it gets. Is trying to own punk.
I lease it.
I lease punk. That might okay. I scratch that. That is the least punk thing possible. Is you're leasing punk.
All right.
But yeah, tell us
it.
about volume because I saw that and I was like, ooh, it was very eye catching
Look,
right away.
Volume, yeah. I mean, volume. I think that the first thing I need to say about it is I know people have been waiting a long time for this book, and what I will say is, we are working on it. Sky. Basically, what happened is myself, Nadia, and Sky started working on this book probably like early 2018, and then we all three of us kind of began. And at the time, it was it was Nadia's first thing, the first project that she was editing. It was my first thing, and it was one of Sky's first projects. And then kind of we all just independently kind of begun getting traction. So which is great for us individually, but unfortunately, it just means volume's been delayed. I mean, Sky has the best problem in the world, which is she doesn't have time for volume at the moment because she's working on DC books. I mean, which is amazing, right? That's the dream.
That's what you want.
Yeah, as much as I hate waiting, it's like, oh no, I have the problem that my artist is now, killing it at DC. It's so so volume is still in the works, but it's sort of a case of with all three of us, it's we work on it when we can, but we're not sort of committed to a hard deadline at the moment, just because we don't want to disappoint people, but when it's out, all of it will be out. We won't release any of it until it's all done.
Which is 5 or 6? Like, I'm assuming
so it's 4 issues. It's
okay. So so
4 issues.
But then it's done. So you're like, when it's done, it's out.
Yeah.
And
100%. 100%. Yeah.
That's good to wait. That's good to wait then. Like,
that's kind of how we feel. We had some estimates originally when we wanted to get it out, and we weren't, unfortunately, just because of everyone's schedules, able to make that work. So we've kind of decided the best way to approach it is, it'll be out, out when it's out. But to actually talk about what the book's about, the book is basically about this girl called Essa who lives in a world without art and without music. And she finds what's called a black tape, which is like bootleg music. And when she listens to it, basically she is as strong and as invincible as the music makes her feel. So with this power, she basically takes on the ominously named regime that kind of runs her city. So it's very, I kind of wrote it in my early to mid 20s, and it's very much like I have a lot of, it's a book about teenage anger. Teenage rebellion and kind of just
nice.
The bombasticness of being a teen is kind of hard, because it's a very bombastic book, a very fun book, but it really has that kind of like that oppositional teen energy, which I think in a lot of ways is kind of in fluoro hyper color and just has this big kind of brash showiness to it, which is what the book is. And then from a technical aspect, the book is in black and white, except for when Essa listens to music and then
that's cool.
Yeah, which is another reason why the book takes a little while. It's just because obviously making that work and making the book work both in black and white color and all that takes a bit extra time as well.
Because do the inks and everything not change then? So it's still the same style, it's just color added?
Yeah, 100%.
That is tricky. That's really cool though. Like,
I mean, if anyone can pull it off at Sky, right, her inks are incredible. And to be honest, once we kind of hit on the stride of like, all right, we're not actually going to put any because originally we kind of experimented with putting grayscale over Sky's inks and it just kind of didn't work.
Oh, sure.
So we're like, all right, we're just going to do the inks as they appear as you draw them. And then, and then we'll just color,
like the classic flashback, the desaturated flashback type thing.
Yeah. 100% that.
That's cool. That's a really cool premise because I remember being a teenager and listening to music and feeling invincible, and it's cool that it's it's actually what's happening. Because you have that brashness where you're just like, you're listening to punk and you're just like, let's rage against the machine, and then you're like,
100%.
When in actuality, the machine is like really big and hard to beat.
Problems kind of aren't as simple as you kind of think they are. But that was a nice thing about this book is like in the world, the problems can be that simple. Cool. So it's both, I guess, an exaggeration and a celebration of that kind of teenage rebellion.
That's cool. I like it. And it's coming out super soon.
I will send you, the first issue is all done, so I'll send it your way.
Cool.
So you can
not to Travis, though.
Yeah.
No, I will happily send it to Travis.
No, he doesn't want it because he owns Punk. He doesn't want to see Punk any other way.
You may not know this, but I read a Punk book. Some people have heard about it. It's doing well.
Yeah.
In New Hampshire.
Yeah, in New Hampshire.
Famous in New Hampshire.
Famous in New Hampshire.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I know it sounds like a joke, but it really doesn't.
I don't think you know, but Travis is kind of a big deal in New Hampshire.
That's such a,
The New Hampshire.
I don't know if is that a compliment? I don't know much about New Hampshire.
It's worse than being not famous in all states.
Right.
So
It has more people than some other states. I can't list them, but it's not
true.
the smallest state.
It is not technically the smallest state. Wyoming has fewer people.
Right. They probably beat Ohio.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm going to look this up.
I don't want to hurt your ego with that, but yeah, definitely Ohio. You beat Ohio for sure. The Aussies are like cool states. Awesome.
Well, no, all I know about New Hampshire is like, isn't the Republican like one of the Republican primaries there?
Did you watch West Wing?
I have not seen West Wing.
Oh, okay, I didn't know because that's where I assumed people would know that media.
No, I just watch a lot of American news.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I hate being happy, apparently.
Oh yeah, I was like, that sucks. Unfortunate.
So we it used to have both the Democrats and Republicans, but we got rid of that.
We got rid of that. Not that the times moved on and they were like, we should go someplace different and more important.
Yeah, that's the only thing I know about.
I love it. Hey, that's a cool. Hey, do you know any facts about Michigan?
All right.
1 second. I want to hear.
Oh no, I know Michael Moore is from there.
Awesome. I love it.
And in his documentaries, he loves remanding people that he's from.
Yes.
It comes
Amazing.
up a lot, which
cool.
is great.
Sweet. That's a neat little tidbit.
It's very funny that he always brings it up.
It is.
All right.
Sweet.
So we have 50 states.
I love it. We have
50 states.
So
New Hampshire would be 40 on the top spot list. So there is 9 under New Hampshire based on
yeah.
So we're kind of a big deal at the lower.
That's
percentage.
We're top 80 percentile, y'all.
I always say this to Americans. Coming from Australia, it's wild to me that you have so many places you can live.
Right?
Because we just like
we can live
and how
all
often
over
people move around.
Yeah, that's wild.
We could just pick a spot anywhere in the country and just live there. Yeah, it's crazy.
There's like maybe 4 places where people actually live here.
Yeah, your heat map of population is wild. Yeah, we're the opposite. It's insane. Like it's really cool, and it's a lot of place to visit. It's why it's like you can almost travel internationally inside the country because you just go and you're just like, well, this is wildly different. Like you go to New Hampshire and you're like, God, I got to get out of here.
Not how you feel about New Hampshire at all. Don't talk bad about it. It's very nice and warm. Live free or die. It's very punk rock. You can do whatever you want. Have you ever heard of New Hampshire sober?
You can do whatever you want.
Whatever you want. New Hampshire sober means you only drink on your motorcycle with no helmet. It's New Hampshire sober.
That explains why your population is low.
Right. See, New Hampshire just doesn't want anybody to live there. So we have big plots of land and avoid letting people live there. And we've done that since, 17. The minute we want, we're like, hey, New York's great. Go to New York, Washington, D.C., go south. It's great.
Those both are really cool places.
But speaking of international and stuff like that, one of the things that's cool about your campaign, which I think is very important, bringing it back, because is you guys have figured out a way to solve the international shipping. You guys have people doing it in Australia and in America, so that means it's going to make it very cheap to afford. You're not going to have to pay international shipping.
Yeah, that was super important to us. Basically, I mean, we know some people who do Kickstarters from here and will ship from here, but it's, look, the postage to get like even a floppy from here to the States is going to cost probably between 10 to 20 Australian dollars conservatively, which is, but it's going to be over $10 US dollars. And we know for a lot of American backers, that's a deal breaker. So we're teaming up with a fulfillment partner for the US, and then for the UK, our amazing artist Phil is doing the fulfillment there. So we just for us fulfilling from Australia, we just never felt it was a viable option.
Cool. I think that's really cool. I think it's so interesting because I've heard that a lot from Australians. Like they're like, we back your shit and pay like $20, but like when it goes the other way, Americans are like, we're good.
But Australians are used to it.
Well, that's the thing, right?
Their video games are crazy expensive.
Yeah, whenever you like buy anything here, you always kind of just are like, all right, it'll be like $10 to $30 shipping, basically. you just kind of automatically do the math in your head. And
just
we
add
are
right to it. Ugh.
Yeah, we are just kind of used to it.
Whereas we're used to an Amazon warehouse right next to like our house, essentially. It just shows up.
Well, again, I think we're just so used to things not being close together, and we're like on the underside of the planet. So yeah, we're just
the underside of the planet.
Yeah, this is what I was particularly afraid of with the whole Kickstarter situation. And Christof did a lot of work to find somebody that works for us and a solution that works for us. And yeah, I'm very excited to feel like Kickstarter is a viable option for us.
Well,
that's cool.
That's really what REQUIEM was about for us in a lot of ways as well. Is Kickstarter is an environment. I mean, I did a very small little crowdfunding campaign through Crowdfunder last year, but that was I think £200 we needed. So very, very different beasts to this. But we know there are so many good comics being made through Kickstarter, and we kind of felt that it would be silly for us to not begin to use the platform. So this was kind of our first step, and the hope is that if this works, this is a way that we can, hopefully bring obviously the rest of REQUIEM, but other projects as well, and other stuff we want to co-write together.
That's cool. So do you have a printer in the UK and then a printer in the US that you're using?
No, so we're doing it all through the US. Again,
and then disseminating from there.
Yeah, just because of the price breaks with larger quantities, it just turns out cheaper to get it all printed in one place and then shipped to the various locations.
Sure. That was cool. I was just curious because that would be neat. I wish there was more print on demand options where you could just get it locally made and then push it out.
And I think
if
it was like a smaller amount, it would probably work out economically. Sure. But the other thing is for us,
and also less variant covers probably would
that makes
one
sense.
Cover easy as pie. But if you got more than one cover and people are all over the world are ordering all covers, you gotta be strategic about what you do.
And I think the other thing about the other kind of thing is obviously if we do future print runs, we can get it printed locally. But for this first print run, everyone's paying the same amount. Everyone's doing it through the Kickstarter. So we kind of want we want everyone to have the same comic essentially.
Yeah, same experience, and you don't want to be like, I got that Australian one, and they obviously cared more about that one. It's real nice.
Well, there are so many as you would know, Travis, so many things that go wrong with printing and so many variables. So if we were working with a bunch of different printers, that just kind of increases the chance of that happening. So at least for this first one, we wanted to kind of just limit as many risks as we could.
You didn't want a newspaper cover in the UK? Oh, dang.
Yeah,
newspapers in the UK used for one thing, and that's fish and chips. They don't read them. That's how Brexit happened.
It didn't help.
Well, one of the things, I would, to give you advice, just because I've done a few Kickstarters, I just finished my 20th on my profile, and that's not kind of the ones I've done.
Incredible. Amazing.
I think you guys should put that higher on the profile, because I wasn't aware of that, and that's one of the hesitations, because you don't look, especially with things, is put it higher up on the profile if you could, and just let them know we have reduced price shipping for the US, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, so amazing. All right.
Allows them to look at, because you do mention it, but it's way at the bottom. If someone's already like, oh, I love this book, but it's from UK. No, it's from Australia. I can't get it. And most people know where David's from. I mean, you can't stop talking.
They so appreciate
Yes. Some people actually know exactly where I live, which is super terrifying.
Exactly where you live?
All right, explain. So somebody.
This is how I get glitter bombs to David.
Has a fan contacted you at your house?
Not yet. I'm kind of living in fear of it, though, on account of a certain publisher who's currently going through bankruptcy proceedings.
Who could that be?
I remember sharing it and going, wait, that's Stephanie Phillips' address. And I know it's accurate because I know about where she lives. I'm like, oh, shit.
Oh, no.
I should not share this.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Yeah, I remember when that came out. That's not,
Anyway.
Whoa. Holy shit. Oh god, that's oh my. Okay. Fuck. Dread.
Well, especially with you,
Pivot.
based on your comic books too, your feeling of England. I'm sure that you have a lot of enemies up in the UK, right? I just assume. I don't know a lot.
I was
about
less worried about that and more worried about,
Death
people
Drop
who don't
Assassin.
like drag queens very much. And
Yeah,
also,
Yep.
if you read Monomyth #2 that comes out this week, people who don't like trans people very much.
Oh,
So
spoiler.
I'm pissing people off.
Yes, but lots of people love it.
True.
How dare being inclusive?
If you were closer, I would come help you put up a fence.
I'll come visit Dave, and I'll bring
There we
a
go.
big stick.
A big stick.
Big stick.
I feel like though when I see you carrying a big stick, I'm worried you're just gonna hurt yourself.
Actually, that's. You know what? That is the most likely outcome.
You do the cartoon where you fall backwards with it.
I always say this, but I kind of compare Christof to that scene where Bambi's trying to find her feet.
Right.
Yeah.
That's kind of Christof all the time.
Aw, that's very endearing.
Yeah, I'm a very clumsy man, so I probably
Sure.
wouldn't be good with a big stick.
So
Potentially.
you'd have to sit next to a big stick.
Exactly.
It's
Big stick adjacent.
Yes,
Thread
big
of the
stick.
not
Big
the
stick
reality of the
adjacent.
stick.
Also, what I prefer.
Don't we all?
Right? Yeah. So, all right. So you got Volume coming out, and then you've got Death Drop Assassin currently coming out. Y'all should get up on that because my shop didn't have it last week, so I need to figure that out. What else do you guys have going on?
Apart from Requiem and Death Drop, we've got Tales from Nottingham. Issue 5 comes out next week, issue 5 is the origin of Robin Hood and the Merry Men.
Ooh.
And then issue 6 in July, which is Mags Visaggio, written and illustrated by Victor Santos of Polar. And that's kind of the bridging issue between volumes 2 and 3. So if you're going to read volume 3, read the hell out of that.
That's the one.
It's a fun issue. And working with Mags on that was pretty awesome time.
Is it fun or is it fun?
It can be both.
Silly Billy.
Yeah.
It's probably the most fun issue of Nottingham that probably will ever be released.
That's it. Awesome. Very cool.
But yeah, you're gonna wanna see what happens in that one. Then Death Drop came out last week, issue 1. Issue 2 should be hitting previews fairly soon for release in September, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah, that little gap that Scout does of a few months.
Yep.
Yep. So that's happening, and I think that's a good thing. It gives everybody time to get issue 1 before issue 2 comes out, because people will be having problems with that with my books.
What? Number 2 being harder and more difficult than number 1? That's never happened.
More that people can't find issue 1 before issue 2 comes out. So
yeah, but then you got to worry about issue 2.
And on that topic, Tales from Nottingham's second printing of issue 1 comes out next week as well.
And that cover looks so good.
It looks really good. I put a note in the thing I would also like second printing. I know I usually get first, but give me that.
What else is there? Monomyth #2 comes out this new comic book day. And that cover is outstanding.
Yeah, it's so good.
Definitely get on that one. Yeah. And
is that super late? I feel like Monolith came out a long time ago.
So it came out. I think Mad Cave are taking a little bit of a cue from Scout, is what I'm sensing, where they'll put the issue 1 release and then they'll push the issue 2 release back as far as they can in that next month, so that you get a first issue at the start of month A, and then the next month at the end of month B you'll get issue 2. That way the shops can at least, adjust as much as they possibly can.
Order and stuff.
Yeah.
All of these, I feel like I got it last
that
month.
go on with like just fourth dimensional chess as well, trying to schedule books. I do not envy publishers on that front.
Yeah. Christof?
So yeah. Wait, one more.
Oh, jeez. I even gave a pause. I was like,
I got one more. Tales from the Cave, I think, comes out this October, I want to say, which is, I think it's going to be like Mad Cave's annual. Cool. And we've got a 12-page Nottingham story in there, and there's another, like, I think 2 odd 12-page stories in there as well. One for Battle Cats and one for Hunt, Kill, Repeat. And
you're doing the Battle Cats one?
I wish we told Mad Cave specifically that that's what we wanted to do, and they're like, okay, but we have to put a Nottingham story in there, and then it kind of has to be you guys, and we were like, fine, I guess.
Fine. Amazing. I got Battle Cats like right there. It's really good.
Is that how the first one was? Because I didn't pick up the first one. Did the first one have? Because Tales of the Cave is. Didn't they do that last year too?
No. So this is a new initiative
to me.
I think they did. I think the year before last they did Grim Tales from the Cave, which was like a town search anthology. Yeah.
Yeah,
but it was like a single volume, and I think this is just like a one-shot size.
Okay.
Book.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. Fun. Well, Nodding Cats.
Look, I mean, me and Shane both, like, we were both in New York last year with Chris Fernandez, publisher at Mad Cave, and we both said we would like to do Battle Cats.
Amazing.
And then they thought about it. They were like, actually, more Nottingham. So I can't be blamed for like Shane not being able to draw the ugliest Battle Cats, but like kind of, in a good way you've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah, it would definitely change the style a bit.
He's like, Shane literally said, he's like, I'm going to make these cats so ugly.
So many lines of
that was the pitch. It's just like, guys, we can do this. I'm going to make them so ugly. Let me have it.
If you've ever met that man, he can make that sound like the best thing in the world. So
I'm into it. I'm ready to go.
It is, but
All right, David.
Are you done? You done, Dave?
I'm done. I'm good.
You're done,
good.
Dave.
Actually, no, I'm good. I'm good.
Actually,
amazing. So yeah, my debut graphic novel Under Kingdom came out in April, so that is out through Dark Horse and is available now. Yeah, so it's available in both comic book stores and then bookstores as well. Yeah, so and I think it's also available in Walmart. It's kind of and Targets. So like wherever you get your books, you should be able to find it. Now.
I got my pull list through Walmart, so that's perfect.
Do you actually? Is that the thing?
I know America. It could be.
We just buy our, so
if only, honestly. Can you imagine that? That would be great.
Just go to self-checkout.
The comic book industry.
It would.
Comic books from Walmart. I think it would.
They have some, but getting your pull list and being able to do that, and then you get the greeter, and you just show up, self-checkout with some comic books.
Yeah, that's what I hate about the comic store is talking to people who read comics and can suggest things. Let's get rid of that part.
I know. I hate me, so.
It's crazy, though,
Under Kingdom, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
So Marie Enger, my co-creator and artist is incredible. Their art is fantastic.
Awesome. I work at the shop tomorrow, and I'm going to be like, get me Under Kingdom, please. Thank you.
Oh, that would be amazing. Thank you so much. I so appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
You'll love it, Todd. I know that you'll love it.
I can already tell. Just off of Christof talking, and then like your description, I'm like, this is an easy pull. I'll put it right next to my Lumberjanes, and it's gonna be great.
It's very in that style.
I got the Lumberjanes feeling. Like I need more Lumberjanes in my life, so let's do this. And I love it.
It looks good. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out too.
Thank you
so Under Kingdom, and then can you tell? I want to know about this because I got this up as a graphic.
Oh yeah, of course.
And I'm just really curious because I was just grabbing graphics and trying to put this all together.
Yeah, so Meat for Burgers is a self-published comic that I do with the amazing Beck Kubrick. Yeah, so we, excuse me. Yeah, so we, the whole thing is super collaborative. And it's about a bunch of kids stuck in a McDonald's style fast food joint, and if they leave, they die. So it's very so it's a little bit Severance, a little bit Stranger Things. And it's just about basically it's just a direct vent of my hang-ups with capitalism.
Awesome.
Basically what the book's about. And also there's fast food because I hate capitalism, love fast food.
Yeah, that's the epitome of capitalism because you love 100%. But you hate it. Like I'm never going to eat at McDonald's again, and then you're like, oh, it's really good.
Now all I want to do is eat at McDonald's. So
as soon as you decide to not eat it, you really want it.
So the first 2 issues of that are out now, and then we're also doing a little sneaky Kickstarter for issue 3 and 4.
Sneaky? Is it like just called Kickstarter or something?
Just coming up.
Real sneaky?
It's more that we're just gonna it's going to be coming up in the next few months, but we're not really, because it's quite a small Kickstarter, and we kind of wanted it to be fun. We're just kind of dropping it, so it's not going to be sort of
whenever it happens.
Not going to be like a Requiem where we've been, super kind of deliberate about it.
Cool. Awesome. Will you be able to catch up on this Kickstarter?
Yes. Yeah. So our plan is actually this is the first time we've talked about it, but so we have the first 2 issues are singles, but we're actually just going to collect the whole thing as a trade and make the trade super. But it was both important to Beck and me that the trade is really, really cheap and reasonably priced. So even if people have the first 2 issues, they don't feel like they're paying again for what they already have. And we've also got some of our friends doing bonus comics in that as well. So we've really hopefully tried to make it so that it's cheap, and also you feel like you're getting a lot of bang for your buck.
Nice. And is the interiors like this? Is this what the interior looks like too? Because I love this cover. It speaks volumes for how simple it is.
Yeah, no, Beck's art is incredible. Yeah, and the entire issue all in black and white. So other printing issues have color covers, but the interiors are always black and white.
Sweet.
That's kind of something. Yeah, I mean Beck. So the first issue Beck drew in 2.5, 3 weeks. So it's really, for us, it's very kind of stream of consciousness. I kind of write a very loose script for them, kind of a bastardized version of Marvel style. So, and then they do the panel breakdowns and just kind of bring it to life. So super collaborative and very kind of quick. We deliberately very quick and stream of consciousness.
I'm going to read that and be like, 2.5 weeks, dear God. That's
everyone does. It's like, how the hell?
God, I wish I had a talent. Any talent
it recalls the time that I was working with Jay Sheik on a 4-pager for some sort of competition years ago, and I was messaging him and I was like, hey man, my artist pretty much bailed, so I got nothing. And he was like, I'll do it. I'm like, dude, there's 12 hours till the deadline. He's like, I'll do it. And I sent him
8 more hours than I need.
4 pages of 9-panel grids, and he gets it back to me in 8 hours so that I can letter it.
That's crazy. Wow.
I remember that. That was
wild.
Fucking nuts.
People's
insane
talent level. Wow.
Yeah, don't do that. Do not wreck your body. It's not worth it. I think the past few weeks have sort of illustrated that. But that being said, I think it's a pretty incredible feat. And Beck's art,
cool.
Very occasionally, you'll come across an artist, and one question that will flash across your mind is, why hasn't this person blown up yet? Yeah. And the answer is you got about a 6-month window before they do.
Yeah, I mean the answer for that with Beck is, I'm confident they're going to be blowing up real soon. So I've been very fortunate that I've been able to get them for this. That's
how I feel about Ignacio. Getting him, like, I got Ignacio to do, like, he did a variant cover for Comic Burrito. And I was like, this is only going to work for this window that we know him, because he's going to be, like, way too busy to deal with this kind of crap.
100%.
And it's just like, but I get this, and it's very wonderful and special, and I love it.
Oh, for sure. Like I said before, it's like striking gold when you're able to kind of find someone before they've really kind of blown up and been noticed by the rest of the industry.
Cool. Anything else you want to get out there?
No, but Dave, is there anything else you wanted to plug?
Actually, yeah. I mean, just to remind everyone that Nottingham Volume 3 does come out next year.
That's right.
Get pumped. Read all the Tales from Nottingham stuff. I'm pretty sure almost all of the issues do become relevant at one point in time.
Sweet.
So, yeah, there will be little like editor's notes with "See Tales from Nottingham number blah." So
the old asterisks where you're like,
yeah.
Cool.
To dig through your short boxes or long boxes to find them.
My memory's not good enough. I gotta go grab it.
It's true. Like Nottingham, like that is a book that I have several times when reading volume 1 and 2 been like at issue 4. What is happening here? Hold on. So you go back. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I didn't see that thread coming. All right, that's what I should have been watching. I was not watching that. I was watching the murders. I apologize.
Oh, I didn't see that in the background. Son of a...
Right, I wasn't watching the Game of Thrones part. I was watching the murder part.
Yeah.
My bad.
That'll teach you.
I feel like the murder part is also the Game of Thrones part.
That is, it's both. Sure. It's really both parts.
Look, Game of Thrones isn't always the Red Wedding, David.
But mostly it is.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for coming on. We will do our best to promote your Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So appreciated.
Yeah, it's in the description. People watching on replay, go down there, go pledge, do the thing, throw the money at them because it's really great and it's really cool. And that Skylar variant is just really, really pretty.
It's incredible. Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. How do we sign off a hype?
We are hyped up for this.
We don't have questions.
We are hyped up for Requiem. Get Requiem. Well, we don't. No questions.
Y'all get Requiemed.
Get Requiem. Requiem being, the symphony of your death. So, that's fine. Like an encore of it's fine.
Get Requiem.
Get hyped for it.
Yeah. Get hyper Requiemed.
What?
I don't know. All right, bye.
Bye.